Hello friends, welcome back to Dr. SNK channel. So today what I'm going to explain you is how basically the obesity and the physical inactivity will lead to the insulin resistance. Have you ever heard about this? Yes, you might have heard. Why? Because it is very quite common nowadays to hear such terms, right? Why? Because this is the main culprit of so many disorders in the future I'll be mentioning. Okay, so today we will limit our talks to the insulin resistance, and we will understand this topic in a well versed manner so that you're going to explain other people also in layman words, and it will be helpful for the society and your friends and family whosoever you are concerned about, right? So in between I'll be just giving you few short videos or the gifts how our body, the inbuilt physiology is going to function in this curriculum activity when it comes to the parts A. So we are going to deep dive in now. Okay, let's start. First, coming to the two main causes of insulin resistance. Okay, why will this insulin resistance develop inside our body? The first cause is the overweight. Okay, the overweight. The second one is sitting for longer duration, that is inactivity, that is the physical inactivity thing. Okay, these are the main causes of something called as insulin resistance. And now because this insulin resistance has developed, what it will lead to, and it is the main culprit. Okay, remember, this is the main culprit. This is the main culprit. Remember, this is the main culprit for what? One is diabetes, the second one is the heart attacks, third one it is PCOS in case of females, which is very common nowadays in the upcoming females. So make sure you're going to juggle that properly into this topic. So we limit this topic again, as I told, to the insulin resistance, and we will continue forwards. Okay. So friends, in the above video, in the recent video, what did you see? There is some organ called as pancreas in our body that everyone will be knowing, right? You know, and it is a source of what? It is the source of an important hormone we have been juggling about now, that is insulin. Remember, it is the source. Okay, so what is this insulin? Basically, this insulin is the key for the lock of the cells. Okay, if suppose this is the lock, right? This is the lock and this is one cell. Okay, and you want to open it now. Okay, you want to open it so that you can enter inside. Okay, and that key what you need, and that key what you need is insulin. Okay, and that key what you need is insulin, don't forget. So basically it is a key for which and all organs? One is muscle, the second one is fat. So why is this required? Why you want this key? What you want to enter into the cell? The substance is glucose. You make sure that whatever you are eating, that is the glucose, is going to enter into your cell via the insulin key. Okay, into the muscles and fat. So friends, so what did you see in the previous video? Those yellow colored cells. Yes, those cells are fat cells, right? Why basically this particular fat cells are increased in our body? What, remember the first cause of insulin resistance I mentioned to you, that was overweight, right? See here, what did I tell you? It is overweight, right? It is the first cause I have told you, right? So what happens when this overweight happens in the nearby future? You will end up going into something called as obesity, that is obese person. Got it? What basically this obesity is? There is increased amount of fat inside the body, that is obesity. Got it? Will this fat sit quietly? No, because it has no work. No, it has work. What will it do? It will go and accumulate or collect in different cells of the body. Okay, it will start getting accumulated. If suppose there is a fat cell here, if suppose this is a fat cell, right? This is the fat cell. To enhance it, I'll give it a yellow color, right? If this fat cell, what does it do? This particular fat cell will start going everywhere and get collected. Okay, remember, suppose these are the fat cells, these are the fat cells, and these are normal cells. Remember, these are normal cells, suppose, and these are fat cells, these are fat cells. Okay, so basically when these fat cells, when they accumulate inside the body, what it happens is they will hinder the progress of the normal physiology of this particular hormone called as insulin. How do they hinder? That is important now. Most commonly you're going to see the accumulation of fat in the belly region, you know, belly region, that is the waist and the right and left bellies, and the in front, that is pot belly, right? All these are seen basically most commonly accumulation sites of the fat. So this fat, after getting accumulated, it will start something called as inflammation. To tell it in a normal terms, it is the immune response. Okay, immunity, immunity of the body will become activated. Okay, it will become activated and it will start releasing numerous cell mediators. Okay, I don't remember all such things because it is bit scientific, don't go in depth. So after this inflammation is getting settled up, what happens is those inflammatory mediators, they're going to inhibit. Okay, remember, they're going to block, they're going to block the insulin signaling pathway through which the insulin would come and act and lead to the glucose uptake, right? And that signaling pathway is blocked now. Okay, got it? Yeah, did you see that? Yes, that pink color thing was the muscle. Okay, it is so inactive and so dull, and it is thinking that I am already enough of glucose. Why you are bombarding with more glucose? I don't want to enter this cycle again because I'm already energy rich. So what will this particular glucose do? It will start getting repelled. Okay, it is not getting uptake. Why? Because there is no movement. First of all, got it? There is no movement. If there is no movement, the muscle will think that there is already enough of ATP, that is the energy source is rich inside the body. Why should I take? So the glucose uptake will not occur. Okay, the glucose uptake will not occur. Got the concept? So after this, what happens is the glucose uptake is not being done, so the blood glucose, remember, the blood glucose will start increasing. The blood glucose will start increasing. Remember, the blood glucose will start increasing. This particular increase in the blood glucose, in the layman terms, it is called as blood sugar. Okay, blood sugar is increased, and that will lead to a disease called as diabetes. Remember, that will lead to something called as diabetes. Okay, that will lead to diabetes, that will lead to diabetes. Got the concept? So once this particular blood glucose is increased, what our body will do? Oh my god, so much of glucose is there, somehow I should clear this glucose. So who is that hero hormone who will help us in clearing the glucose and lead to the glucose uptake? That is insulin. Okay, the insulin will start increasing, the insulin hormone will start increasing. Over the time, what happens is, if even you give so much of insulin also, the cells will fail to respond to insulin, and that will lead to insulin resistance. So you got right, the second one cause of physical inactivity leading to the insulin resistance because of repeated stimulate of insulin due to increased blood glucose due to loss of activity. Got it? So friends, in the recent given image, what was it depicting? That is, the fat is getting accumulated everywhere. As I told you in the previous slide, that the particular fat has a function. What is its useless function? Getting deposited and accumulated and collected, right? That is what I told you. See here, what did I tell? The fat cell is here, it is going to get collected in the various forms, but most commonly I told you in the belly fat and the side handles, right? Apart from that, it is very very important, the fat is getting now accumulated in the future in the liver and the muscles. Okay, these are the two things the fat is now targeting. Got it? See, these are all the fat droplets, the yellow color thing what I am marked, they are called as fat droplets which are being accumulated inside the liver and the muscle. Got it? So what happens once this fat accumulates inside the liver and the muscle? Now what happens is, this particular insulin, okay, this particular insulin which was supposed to enter into the cell will not enter because there is so much of fat, it get repelled back. Okay, it is getting repelled back like this. Okay, and coming back, and it's not getting utilized. Okay, it's not getting utilized, the insulin is not getting utilized, and it is not going inside the liver and muscle. Okay, there are so many uptakers. Okay, those are not necessary for you people, and these uptakers make sure that it is going to enter inside this particular thing, and it is not happening because it is getting repelled because of this fat things. Why? What does this fat do? That I have told here, the excess fat will stimulate something called as inflammation, and that will block the insulin signaling pathway. Got it? Now coming back here, this particular insulin is not getting utilized now, so what it will do, it will jam the insulin pathway so that the insulin is not going to enter inside the liver or muscle to make sure that it is going to clear the glucose. No, it is not happening now. As time progresses, what happens is, this particular insulin resistance and fat gain cycle viciously begins repeatedly. Yes, now the vicious cycle will start happening repeatedly inside the body. What is that vicious cycle? The insulin resistance, first thing is the insulin resistance. Because of what are the two main things I mentioned? One is obesity, the other one is less activity in life, that has led to the insulin resistance, and this insulin resistance will lead to the fat gain because the insulin is not there, and it will get converted into the fat. Okay, so what this fat gain, is it reversible? Yes, of course it is reversible. So there is some good news for you people. What is that good news? This particular condition can be improved just by a 30 minutes of exercise daily. Okay, 30 minutes of exercise daily and a healthy diet will make sure you come back to the normal status and the normal physiology. Yes, the increased activity, what does it do? It is going to sensitize the muscle. It is going to sensitize the muscle so that the muscle will take the insulin and lead to the glucose uptake. Okay, it will sensitize the insulin and make sure that the glucose is being taken by the muscle and it will not stay in the blood. Got it? So friends, what I am going to tell now is, stay active and healthy because your cells are watching. Don't forget. Okay, now coming here, so what is this diagram? It is the heart. In the heart, what I have drawn is this particular blood vessel, and that blood vessel is called as coronary artery. Why I have drawn this? Because I'm going to explain. If suppose you are going to ignore these signs, it will start attacking the heart also in the future. And once these heart muscles are blocked, how? How are these heart vessels are blocked now? This particular fat, the useless fat, has come here now. It has come here, okay, and it has start accumulating in the coronary arteries. In the coronary arteries, what are these basically coronary arteries? These coronary arteries are the blood supply or the supplying vessels of the heart. Okay, they will supply the heart, and once these are blocked, they will lead to something called as plaques. Okay, they will lead to something called as plaques. Sorry, not plaques, plaques. Okay, it is called as plaques. It is called as plaques. If suppose this particular plaques are formed, then of course in the near future you will lead to something called as heart attack, that is the myocardial infarction. For the detailed video, please stay tuned in the next analysis of this particular case scenario. Thank you. Myself, Dr. Shashank. Please do like, subscribe, and share this content if it was helpful. Until then, bye bye.